Tom, let me compliment you for the third time this morning. Well done with you and Harold last night. It was a great listen. So thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. And I think while we ironed through the technology problems there, the Dodgers and Nationals changed pitchers 3 more times.
That was a long 7th inning. Can you remember an inning that was that long or had anywhere near those kind of pitching changes in the postseason?
No, it's kind of like The Usual Suspects. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again to figure out what happened. It's funny. Last year we had the first-round Texas-Toronto, and that Game 5 was unbelievably emotional and dramatic. That was the Bautista bat flip. The fans were throwing things on the field. Same inning, 7th inning. I think this one was even crazier. I think it was longer.
When did you realize that Kershaw was going to be a possibility?
Well, it's funny. Before the game, Dave Roberts said that's not a possibility. Come on, guys. And I was watching him in the dugout, and he was in the dugout for most of the game, so I assumed he was not going to be available. Being in the dugout, just watching the game, anybody who's available, they're usually down in the bullpen pretty early. When I saw him walk from the dugout out to the bullpen late in the game, usually the 8th or 9th inning, I guess it was the 8th inning, I just said, wow. It was just an incredible moment where he's walking across the outfield by himself with the spikes on this time. And you're like, okay, Sheriff's riding into town right now.
What if he didn't pitch well?
I don't think it bothered him at all. I don't think he's obviously not afraid of that. I thought Dan going into the game, the biggest thing for me was there was going to be a spot where the Nationals would have Daniel Murphy at the plate. And who did Dave Roberts trust to get through Daniel Murphy late in the game? Because I thought in a 5-game series, Luis Avilan and Grant Dayton, the 2 lefties, he'd already seen both of those guys twice. And Murph's just too smart. The more he sees somebody, the mystery is gone facing him. It never occurred to me that Kershaw would be the guy. And Roberts had it set up so that if Murphy's spot came up, there was nobody he trusted more than Clayton Kershaw. So I give him credit. It's a good question you ask. What happened if he failed? I mean, it would have blown up both on the manager and on Kersh. But, man, listen, go back to the game he pitched 2 days before where he took the ball on short rest.
Yeah.
Max Scherzer was starting Game 5 because he could not start on short rest. And they had to give up, Joe Ross, who really hasn't pitched a lot coming off the DL. And, Scherzer just said, listen, I've never done it before. I think it would have an effect on me the next time I go out there if we advance. And that's typical of the modern pitcher. Well, Clayton Kershaw is not typical of the modern pitcher.
So you work 2 days after throwing 110 pitches over 6 2/3, and then come in and get the final 2 outs.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.